How Much Land Does a Man Need by Leo Tolstoy.
By Scarlett Berthelot,
Deborah Olabusi,
Michaela Schreiber,
and Lauren Shibanowski.
Before we start our presentation, we're all wearing the color red because it has a deeper meaning.
red has more emotional associations than any other color.
This fiery hue is linked to passion, love, and desire, as well as power, anger, and rage.
Red is inherently exciting and naturally draws attention.
This is our thesis statement.
The corruption of man begins with his pride. In Leo Tolstoy's How Much Land Does a Man Need?, the author presents narrative events, behaviors, and ideas that are further expressed when viewed from a psychoanalytic perspective that relies on Freudian beliefs, and how they contribute to the development of unhealthy, covetous tendencies that lead to one's demise.
By applying Freud's psychoanalytical theory, readers can gain a deeper understanding of how Pahom's overwhelming greed drives the events of the story. Even though he was well contented, Pahom still felt the land was too cramped to be comfortable, which pushed him to repeatedly uproot his family in pursuit of more land. His endless desire for ownership ultimately led to his downfall, which he tried to claim too much land from the Bakshirs, resulting in his death. He had grasped too much and ruined the whole affair. This moment reflects Caitlin Sisko's concept of the obsessive position, where a person is entirely fixated on obtaining what they see as a good object. Pahom's intense determination to claim the Bakshirs' land shows how trapped he was in this obsessive state of mind. His fixated blinded him to the reality that he already had enough and even ignored his own well-being, which in this context serves as the analyst Sisko describes, someone who represents reality. On top of this, Pahom arrogantly claimed that with enough land, he wouldn't even fear the devil, and his growing greed caused tension within his community, irritating his neighbors. All these developments, his arrogance, greed, and detachment from reality, help the reader see how Pahom's fate was sealed by his own excessive desires.
The behaviors demonstrated by Pahom in the short story go hand in hand with Freud's psychoanalytic perspective and ideals. These behaviors and this lens help characterize Pahom as morally blind. Pahom's desires for an abundance of land often outweigh his values of family and how he values his health. He believes that he has enough land, and although he may seem content at times, Freud's analysis supports the idea that the superego instills in us a desire to seem moral. Against one's common belief, this appeared morality does not necessarily mean one's actions are ethical. Pahom is driven by covetous tendencies and strives to reach an ideal view of what could be. As the story progresses, his drive and passion to gain more land does as well. Pahom works until the point of physical failure and often leaves his wife at home for many months on end. This proves his values of family and health were insignificant compared to how much land he wanted. Freud's psychoanalytic themes allow for Pahom's moral blindness and covetous tendencies to become evident.
This is supporting point number 3. Pahom abandons his moral conscience and succumbs to pride as he obsessively pursues land. Influenced by a belief that more land will bring more security, he declares he would not even fear the devil himself in Tolstoy. Through a Freudian lens, his ego is driven by the id, his instinctual greed and desire for power. Though his ambition appears acceptable by societal standards, it masks his primitive urges. As Nunberg states, the id has created the ego, suggesting that Pahom's outward rationality is shaped by his unconscious desire. Ultimately, his unchecked greed consumes him, and in the tragic irony, he ends up only needing 6 feet to be buried in.
The decay of man is illustrated in Leo Tolstoy's short story, How Much Land Does a Man Need?, through Pahom's insatiable desire to attain more property. By depicting the conflicts of human subconscious and conscious desire through the psychoanalytic lens, it can be viewed that desire ultimately rules over the morality of man, ironically overcoming its own instinct to survive and leading to Pahom's consequent demise.
Thanks for watching our presentation.